Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hello, welcome to Lead Pedal Podcast. I'm your host, Bruce Outridge. This is episode number 987, and we were recently at the National Recruiting and Retention Symposium, and we're going to tell you all about that event, and we're going to share some of the people we talked with as well. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Hey folks, Bison Transport is looking for owner-operators, and if that is you, they want to talk to you. Here's what they can offer you as an independent owner-operator. Their goal is to help you grow and maximize your profits. You need a strategy to increase revenue while minimizing operational expenses. Bison's exclusive owner-operator program provides you with the benefits of a large fleet while running your independent operation. Look at things like their strong fuel discount. Bison has a dedicated fuel team who negotiate discounts for our owner-operators by working with our preferred suppliers. By leveraging their fleet of over 2,000 trucks, they have the buying power to ensure they receive one of the strongest fuel discounts in the business. Hey, how about free fuel advice? That's right, Bison offers valuable trip-based fuel advice for you via satellite message to owner-operators free of charge. An owner-operator who takes advantage of this information can save up to $3,000 a year. And the best thing of all, Bison has new rates. That's right, Bison has increased the rates for long-haul cross-border owner-operators. This includes a U.S. premium increase of 2 cents a U.S. mile, and that's not all. Bison has an additional premium for owner-operators who hold a valid Fast Card. Where can you find out more? Well, go to Bison Transport, and the best place to start is at fuelyourjourney.ca. Oh, by the way, tell them that the Lead Pedal Podcast sent you. All right, so the National Recruiting and Retention Symposium was a great event. It's put on by Transrep every year. They swing across the country. When I say swing, I mean in a good way, not you know what that means. Anyway, we were there doing some media for them and helping them out. In fact, I had the opportunity to present and moderate a panel there, and it was a great event. They always do an amazing job. The Lions Head Golf and Country Club is probably, I'm going to say, a premier event space in the Brampton, Ontario. Everybody's been holding their events there, and I've never seen them do a bad job for sure. So it started off on the Wednesday night. They have a cocktail hour for people to come in, and that's always a lot of fun. We're always there early. We get there on the Wednesday, and we set up our booths and all of that kind of stuff, and then go for the cocktail hour. And there's some really fun stuff going on there for sure. Then Thursday morning, they start off early with a breakfast there, and then the program goes for, it's a single-day program. It kicked off with Dr. Karen Gordon, the 3 chairs. This was a great presentation on how to boost your self-esteem and to make sure that you are doing things right, and how to it was all about people and the differences between people and how you can get ahead. I thought it was very well done. She was the keynote speaker. A bit of a networking and a trade show event, and then they had a panel retention panel moderated by Sudmal Horda, and that had James Johnstone from Giant Tiger, Marilyn Sturber from 10th Street, and Angela Munsterman from Coca-Cola. And they were talking about how they keep their drivers on their fleet, how they make sure that they're respected, and basically telling other people so that they recruit that. Right after that, I had a moderation. I moderated a panel, which was the recruiting panel. And I had 3 talented ladies on there. I had Andra Body, who's with Andra Body Consulting, and she was representing Concrete Ontario. I had Crystal DeLong, who I called Cheryl on stage. That's never good. Crystal was with Day and Ross. She's a recruiter. And then we had Kelly Welch, who's a recruiter with Kriska Transportation Group, formerly Schneider. Then they broke for this amazing lunch, and this lunch had it's just top-notch lunch. What else can I say about lunch? But it was top-notch, and I never miss a lunch, so I know a lot about lunches. In the afternoon, there was an awards presentation, and they had an industry award presentation, and they had a Recruiter of the Year. So Recruiter of the Year went to Jessica Matta, and Jessica is with Wellington Motor Freight and did an amazing job. Is really top of her game. You're going to hear an interview about her a little bit later on in the show, because we had the chance to sit down with her. And you're also going to hear from her. We've got a whole episode just on her, so that's going to come up in the near future. Also, speaking of awards, was an award given to Jeff Topping, and Jeff won the Industry Award. And if you know Jeff Topping of Challenger Motor Freight, one of the not only one of the nicest guys in the industry, but one of the most helpful and always, I've never seen him, he treats everybody with respect, and he's well respected himself. He's been a driver. He's been in all of these places. I've worked with Jeff over the years, and I couldn't be happier to see him get this award. Well deserved, and a great choice by the Transrep team for sure. That was really good. After that, Greg Ford of Talent Click, how to hire and train safer drivers. He's using technology, and he had a whole presentation. It was quite funny. He had some really good videos on why people do what they do. And are you the kind that would drive through a stop sign or stop at the stop sign? Those kind of things is what they were talking about. Another networking break, and then they had the future recruiting and retention panel. That was moderated by Leanne Drummond of CPC Logistics. Leanne is a former Recruiter of the Year winner. She was actually the first one, I believe. Don't ask her to hold anything, but she holds a lot of knowledge. I wouldn't let her hold a trophy for too long. There's a whole story there where she dropped it the first year. Go back to our podcast and just click on Leanne, Recruiter of the Year, you'll see. But her panel had Hannah McDonald with Better Together group of companies, Jeff Topping of Challenger Motor Freight, and Kevin Blackman of Armor Transportation. Kevin was also last year's Recruiter of the Year. And it was a really interesting panel. Hannah did an amazing job. I can't get over. It was her first time on the panel. You would have thought she was professionally speaking for years and years. Jeff Topping, of course, had just won the Industry Award and was kind of the god of the panel, if you will. And then Kevin, I never met Kevin before, but he had a wealth of knowledge, former driver, and the information was just top notch. So well done to everything. Then they closed it out. Kim Richardson and Charlie Sheralambis closed it out. Big thank you to everybody for having us out as Lead Pedal Media and doing the event. Always loved working with Nico Sheralambis, who was the official photographer for the event. So way to go there. And just another great event. I'm not sure where they're going next year. They didn't announce a date at the time of this, but if you can go to transrep.ca, you can always keep an eye on that. So, hey, let's give you a little bit of a preview or a recap, if you will. Here's some of the presentations, a little bit of snippets of the presentations that went on at NRRS 2023.
Recruiting and Retention Symposium 2023, the fourth annual event. My name is Charlie Sheralambis. I am the Coordinator, Research Stakeholder, and Public Relations with the IHSA, and I am your MC for today.
I would say that the people in this room, it's interesting. I'm now the old guy in the room, and I didn't understand it before when people said these people become your friends. And I'm like, no, I'm here to make money from these people. And I am, don't get me wrong. But really you do build, particularly in the trucking industry, unlike any other industry that we're related to, you build friendships and relationships that last over time.
Dr. Karen has given over 1,000 keynotes to more than 500,000 people in 17 countries, including Fortune 500 companies, professionals, parents, and hundreds of school boards across North America. Her most recent TED Talk ranked number 6 on TEDx Talks Top 10 World Chart ranking the most popular TED Talks in 2022. With a doctorate in marriage and family and specialty training in leadership and personality, Dr. Karen's purpose is to develop great leaders in organizations and families. Her gift is speaking passionately and practically. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Karen Gordon.
Okay, this is your final. B's? Wow, very interesting. I'm seeing a huge range. Okay, I'm seeing like not so confident betting 5. Other tables are betting 15. Okay, that's okay. Oh, are you 15? Okay. Correct answer is C. C. Okay.
Ask James to introduce first and then go with Marilyn and Angela.
Are you measuring it? And are you measuring it, in a complete way and in a real way, and then go from there, right? So it's like, if there's 2 things you took away from this panel, I would say go back to your organization and find out how you're measuring retention, make sure it's real, and then go back to your organization and go visit each one of your departments and find out what they're telling drivers.
And like just for folks from drivers considering what sector to go into, they might think that driving a concrete truck involves being on a lot of uncertain terrain and whether they're going to be asked to take the equipment into questionable conditions.
Other trucking companies to get benchmarking, get their pay packages, how long's your onboarding time, what's your process look like, all of those questions that we want to know the answers to make sure we're good at what we do. And surprisingly,
and was starting all over again, and within 24 hours, this person had the entire car stuffed with donations from the community, friends and family, just from the goodness of their heart, of wanting to do good for someone, and gave them the opportunity for a new life, which is, I think, a big thing. All of the previous winners up here and all of you in this room, it's, trucking it's definitely a job for us, but it's more than that, right? And people who really succeed in this industry are definitely people who care about it and take it to that next level. Another quote for this person is, this person can think of a plan and put a plan into action. They are a go-getter. They never stop for less. They're so capable of accomplishing so much, and that is why they are such a role model to me. So finally, who is this person who manages Arizona drivers? This person, congratulations to the 2023 National Recruiter of the Year, Jessica Mata from Wellington Motor Freight. And we also have a gift up here. Thank you to NAL Insurance, Mr. Glenn Caldwell. You have another little care package over here. So I'm going to turn it over to you, let you say a few words.
Thank you. This for you. Thank you. Wow, I'm shocked.
People. Some of you might be using this kind of thing, others haven't heard of it before, but it is soft skills, and it can be applied to training as well, not just hiring.
He's been a trusted advisor and mentor to many colleagues and peers in the industry, including myself. It is without question that Jeff Topping deserves the recognition for his dedication to the industry, for his outstanding leadership and contributions. From all of us in the industry, thank you and congratulations, Jeff Topping.
Well, this is a bit of a surprise. I wasn't aware of this happening, so thank you very much, Kim, the team at Transrep, KRTS, and all the sponsors.
As falling into the industry or got into the industry because they knew somebody.
What we're doing at our companies and, again, within the industry. It's about the industry needs to continue to remind people that it's a viable industry with good careers, and you can provide a good life for yourself and your family. And for too long, that our industry was looked down upon, and I think one of the good things that came out of COVID was it reminded everybody about the heroes that are.
Ever since then, we've just kind of built on that, so thank you very much, Kim. Appreciate all the support.
All right, so that was some great stuff there. So we got a chance to talk with a lot of people at the National Recruiting and Retention Symposium this year. It was a really great event. I had a little booth set up, a little interview booth set up, which I thought it looked like it was a cocktail table. I should have had cocktails. I think that might have gotten a few more people over for sure, but certainly had some fun talking with people. I had a chance to talk with Marilyn Sturber of 10th Street. She's always, just, first of all, just getting Marilyn, she's doing 9 million things at the same time, and she's traveling all those times. So it was good to get down and talk with her a little bit. Really enjoyed. Always fun talk with Marilyn. And talked with Shelley Walker. Shelley's with Women's Trucking Federation of Canada. She's also, we talked a little bit about her Bridging the Barrier event. So that one is in the key here as well. Had a chance to talk with Jessica Mata as the Recruiter of the Year, but I will leave that for another episode because we're going to do one just on Jessica. So I will leave that one out for a while. And I also had a chance to talk with Craig, and Craig is with. Craig is from Australia, and he owns a school in Australia. Met him. He's been touring around the Canada for a couple weeks there. So I met him a little earlier with Kim, but it was good to sit down and talk with him about what's going on. So here's some of those interviews right now with some of the great people I talked with.
Here from 10th Street. Woo.
Hi, Bruce.
You're getting ready to, I guess, present Recruiter of the Year.
We're getting ready to present Recruiter of the Year. Yeah, this is our third year. Can you believe it? I was like, wow. It seems like yesterday.
My question to you is, how do you look so awake? I follow you on social media. You are everywhere. Like, you don't even take a weekend off. I'm going to call your husband and go, so what's the real deal?
Yeah, I know. He's a stay-at-home dad right now, so he's the real MVP because I'm traveling so much. And, it takes, got to have strong support at home, if you're on the road. But.
Now, did 10th Street have their own conference in Vegas? Is that what I saw?
We had our user conference.
I wasn't sure if you attending.
No. We had a user conference there.
So what's a user conference?
So that is where we bring clients and partners in, and we launch a bunch of new products, and we do training and engagement on our existing products, and it's really a few days to love on our clients, and celebrate them and bring them together. As you know, so much power and magic happens when you get like people together, and so we had 700 people at the Bellagio, and about I think 450 of those were carriers.
Wow.
Clients from carriers, and so that was pretty amazing. Yeah, it was great.
So what does 10th Street do? Tell me what 10th Street does, because I think it's confusing to a lot of people.
I think it is too. Yeah, because
we see you everywhere, but I actually don't know what
we do. A lot of things, and so what 10th Street does is they help connect carriers and drivers,
right?
And they help a carrier manage the entire life cycle of the driver up front with a marketing and a digital and tele app, right? That is the number one source of application in the driver market, right? We have over 1.5 million drivers on our app, right? Which is 10th Street Driver Pulse.
Right.
And so, but beyond kind of that recruiting piece where we cut our teeth, we've been in business 17 years now, but we also now you can fully onboard your driver. We have a full service LMS, and then we have, post-hire performance management with integrations with safety telematics companies, CSA. We have a survey product, ISB, our new partner in Canada, so they can order the Talent Click product. So we just have, what we're trying to do is, because there's so many data points that a company has to look at in a driver, we're providing a consolidated place so you can see the full picture of a driver performance, and it's critical. Pre-hire and post-hire matter, right? And so in our system, you can see those side by side, so you can really, make real, informed, data-driven decisions about coaching drivers, retaining drivers, terminating drivers, and all those things.
And you were just on the retention panel here talking, and a wealth of information. And I don't know if there's a secret or not a secret. You've been in the game. You were with a company.
I was with a trucking company, yes.
So you know this game, and people are either happy or not. There doesn't seem to be any. What are you seeing from a data? So the data that you're seeing, is it telling you, giving you an idea of where people are happy and not? Because it's all over the place up here.
Yeah, it is. And so I think what's hard, and it was a great question from the lady at Skelton, right? Like, what else besides communication? Because that's really hard. I mean, it's really hard.
We're doing it.
Yeah, it's really hard to change those things about yourself because there is no magic bullet.
Right.
Yes, certainly there's technology, so leverage the technology to communicate, but it's like that's what it is. It's that personal connection and the transparency and the visibility, right? Is like over and over and over again. That's what we see. People name pay, and pay is true. If you can't pay your their bills, that's one thing.
That's right, yeah.
But if you're a company at an event like this, you're paying the drivers a fair wage.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because you care, you're here. So it's not the easy things. That's the market that we're in, because you probably have the best equipment you can have. You have the best pay you can have. You care about drivers. So now it's about what are those small things that go a long way, and really just fine tuning that process.
And I think it's more important because with all the technology, how many drivers when ELD said, I'm done, you put one of those in my truck, right. Now they're going, oh, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. That's right.
But I think we're communicating that way. I used to have to phone customers in my day. Now it's all done on the ELD.
Absolutely.
So there's no one talking to them other than this thing on the computer.
Yeah.
So it's important for the communication.
And meet drivers where they are. So I do talk a lot about changing generations, and our keynote here talked about it. You cannot assume if you have 50 drivers on your fleet, or you have 100 drivers in your company, they do not all receive information the same way.
That's right.
And so what are you?
Some of us are old.
Yes.
Some are
That's right. Yes. Send it out into FleetWide. Do a YouTube video. Put it in your newsletter. Send an email. Send a text. Put it on your website. You know, put it in all the places so that whatever it is that the driver, what is their preferred method? You know, they're talking about social media on a webinar I did this week about, you know, does it matter about social media? Well, like, yeah, it matters, but you can't just have Facebook, because young people are not on Facebook.
Right.
They're on TikTok.
That's right.
You know, so you know, it's like that. Millennials, 40-year-olds, 35, we're on Facebook, so you have to have a diverse strategy.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, it's good to see you up here. It's good to see you everywhere.
Yes.
I get exhausted. People tell me, and then I look at you and I go, well, at least I'm not on a plane. I might be busy, but I'm here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So where do people go learn about 10th Street?
They can go to 10thstreet.com. They can download our app, which is Driver Pulse. It's in the App Store or Google Play. They can find me on LinkedIn.
They can find you on an airplane?
They can find me on an airplane, an airport near you, you know. So, just reach out, sales@10thstreet.com, any of the ways. Absolutely.
Keep doing the good work. Safe flying.
Yes, thank you.
And you can sponsor the next conference probably with your flight miles, right?
Flyer miles, that's right. Thank you so much. It's always good to see you, too.
I love it.
Thanks for all you do.
So I am here with Maren Gamble. Maren Gamble, you're with IHSA.
I sure am.
How come I don't know you? I thought I knew everybody at IHSA. I know your boss. I know the boss's boss, and I know him.
That's kept secret. That's kept secret.
What's your role at IHSA? What do you do?
Manager Strategic Programs of the Health and Safety Excellence Program, specifically is the title.
Okay.
But
what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean? So what it means is I'm really passionate about occupational health and safety management systems. So really building that backbone system that organizations can have in place to keep their people safe.
Okay. Now, I know IHSA works in a number of areas, from construction to transportation. Are you in all of them, or in one of them, or?
Oh, we're in all of them. So when we're looking at systems, we're helping build those systems for anybody in our membership, and across the province too, no matter where you're
And this is different than CORE, right?
This is different than CORE. So they really do work hand in hand, the CORE program, if you've heard of it, and the Health and Safety Excellence Program.
I've been to a few presentations. I see the sticker on everybody's pickup truck.
Exactly. It's on my shirt today. Yeah.
I see it everywhere now. I'm just like, holy smokes.
That's just it. So CORE is a fabulous evaluation standard, an audit of an existing health and safety management system to prove where it's at. Where the Health and Safety Excellence Program is different and sort of special is that it's a program you can leverage as a firm to build your system. So it's during the journey. It's when you're not ready to test it to an audit yet, or you have a new piece you want to add in because maybe you are a leader, and it's something you want to do, and you want to maybe get some of those WSIB rebates back, because there are some rebates potentially.
Okay, so talk about, is that, because I know in trucking, and because I'm in media, I don't worry about WSIB basically. I don't have anything to do with it, other than once in a while someone says coverage. But what does that mean? So how do you get rebates back? Is it by the safety program you have?
Yeah, so when it comes to WSIB, companies in Ontario are going to be paying premiums based on the type of industry they're in, based on the number of full-time employees they have, and they're paying those premiums every year. The beauty of this program is you can complete 1 to 5 topics under the program, and there's lots of choice. And for each of them that you do complete, you can get a percentage of those premiums back to you as a rebate. So the WSIB will actually send you a check.
Wow. Okay. Now I know there's going to be people calling me, so you're going to have to explain. Okay. So now, when you say 1 to 5 items, does that mean I've got to train my company on one item, or is it just one person has to am I the boss? I just take one item or course? How does that work?
Right, so the topics are things that you would see in a health and safety program in your organization. So we have everything from leadership and commitment, which is one of the foundational topics, to social engagement, networking and peer learning. These kinds of things appear there too. So there's a range of topics, and so you would take on these topics sort of overall in your organization. So if you take on leadership and commitment, you're taking on all of leadership and commitment for your organization.
So anybody that's in that role or has to, I mean, it could be anybody. It could be even the person at the bottom who just got hired yesterday could be your next leader. So you want to make sure.
Everyone's involved in the topics implementations. We use a classic plan, do, check, act cycle. So when you go through the process, and this is what the consultants at the IHSA or other providers would do with you, is we'll help you develop the document that is your plan, then help you figure out how to communicate it, how to train your staff, depending on how complicated it is. Then we help you, there's the living and breathing phase. You got to let this happen in the wild for a little while to see what it's going to do.
That's kind of how my whole operation works, actually.
Living in the wild. And then at the end of it, you look back and say, did it work? Did it accomplish what we want? And that's really what this process is helping firms go through the journey of implementation and rewarding them for going through that journey, for investing that time and money.
How many people have gone through that journey, maybe with the incentive of, I'm going to get a little bit of a check back, and then realize, holy smokes, that really improved my operation. I should be paying them, right? Like,
we do get a lot of that feedback.
Because I know as a business owner, just the day-to-day takes all of your brain power, to try and, we all want to make our business better, but where do you go? Finding resources, that all takes time and sometimes money. So it's good to have that. So have you had anybody or any examples you could share of somebody that just went, wow,
we see the feedback we get, honestly, from our systems-based programs, when people have been successful with them, is that the production end, the efficiency end, it's all picking up. We're talking about topics that cover communication. Well, when your communication, your organization gets better, that's increasing your productivity, that's increasing your efficiency. We're talking about topics around safety and procedures for doing things. Well, when you figure out how to do things properly and you have people consistently doing things that same way, you're going to see the production increase as well. So there's huge benefits in terms of that.
It's probably a great way of building your policy manual for your company in a way. Because
for sure.
I know my wife and I have talked about that. We're the only two in our company, and I'm going, you should probably start recording, if I ever have to hire someone for your job, I've been out of it. I know how to do her job, but she's been doing it for the last 15 years on her own. So I'm going, geez, even my job, like if I had to hire someone to do this.
That's so important. There's so much turnover out there in the world and across various industries. If someone leaves your organization, can someone come in and keep it running the way they were running it and keep your organization up to that standard you've come to expect? And even for smaller firms, my partner runs a small construction surveying firm, and he's participating in the HSEP program because they don't have a manual. So when you said building a manual, he needs everything from policy page number 1.
You'd be surprised.
And so this really offsets that cost and helps put that in place.
So where should people go to find out more? Because I'm sure people are going to want more information on all of his products and procedures.
Absolutely. So ihsa.ca is the website for the Infrastructure Health and Safety Association. And if you go there, there's a whole subpage dedicated to the Health and Safety Excellence Program.
Nice. Well, thanks for talking with us today, and keep up the good work. I didn't even know that was available. Charlie didn't tell me.
Now you know.
He never tells me. Thank you very much. That was great. I am sure people are going to reach out. I know I was just working with IHSA on the construction side, helping some of the construction entrepreneurs understand what was available at IHSA. And this is just another piece that I don't remember them necessarily talking about, but they had a lot going. So thanks for bringing that up.
Thank you so much, Bruce.
You're welcome. I'm here with Shelley Walker and with Women's Trucking Federation of Canada. What's going on, Shelley? What's going on? I just did I shouldn't say it that way. I just moderated a panel. If you say just did a panel, that sounds bad. I just moderated a panel where we talked a lot about women drivers. What's going on with Women's Trucking Federation of Canada? And you always got stuff going on.
Well, it's busy time of the year now, right? The warmer weather's coming upon us.
Truck show season!
Yes. Chrome and chicken lights.
I like it. That's all all about me.
That's just it. So we've been doing a lot of career fairs right now. So we, on next week actually, we were at Skills Ontario Young Women's Initiative for 2 days.
So why would you be doing those kind of fairs? Are you just showing the opportunity of trucking to women or to young people, or are you hiring for what you do?
No, so what we've been doing is showing what our industry has to offer to youth, also to people that are looking to transition in their career choice. Race, gender, doesn't matter. We're talking to everybody out there. There is a lot of interest, a lot of questions. So it's been some pretty good events for us the last few that we've been at. Good. So, but the Young Women's Initiative is basically geared to Monday is elementary students.
Okay.
And then Tuesday is high school students.
What kind of comments are you getting when you go to those fairs? Are people interested, or are they just going, it's trucking? My parents told me don't look at that industry, or what are you saying?
We've had a few kids that have said to us, like my parents said, like they don't want me driving a truck, and then usually when we ask, I'll get, well, my dad drives, and he said there's no way in hell he's going to let me behind a wheel. So we have some of that, but then we have some that are generally interested, and we tell them there's a lot more to our industry other than driving a truck, right? So there's diesel technician and all the other opportunities we have, and how they can start. Basically, they can start as a grease monkey in the shop or in the wash bay or in the warehouse, and gradually work up and get their license or their diesel tech ticket or into an office position. So
you and I drove for about the same length of time. Do you find it ironic when someone says don't become a truck driver and they're doing the job and they've been feeding their family and providing a pretty good living to most people? I find that very weird. I always go, why would you say that?
I think for some of them, when you start talking to them, they're fed up, and they're to the age where they don't want to go learn something new. Right. Or in other cases, what else are they going to learn with their level of education that is going to give them the income that they're used to having? Right. I also talk to drivers that are out and about socially who don't want people to know they drive a truck. They won't tell people they drive a truck.
I do the caricature events, and I get people go, you drive a truck? And then I tell them about the industry. I go, they're amazed. I find it really weird.
It is. I find it's different social dynamics about where you go. I find like some of the high school kids are just like, when they look at me at 4'11" and go, you drive a truck? Right? I actually had one kid last week go, oh, could you reach the pedals?
Yes, I could.
Right? I'm like, valid question, but yes, they do. So
25 years you did.
So it's just it's changing what they see, and and I've asked them, can you name me 5 things you know about driving a truck? And I often hear rollovers, flipping over,
and that's because that's what they see, and people are showing that, and I know that's why you and I don't show that, right?
Right. So it's all over sometimes mainstream media, but drivers that are sharing these pictures and these videos and all these areas of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, do you ever stop to think that you are showing the worst images of our industry?
I know.
Right? I love to show stuff from when we're at big rigs, the diesel smoke, the shiny chrome, the pride that drivers take in their trucks. Right? And I think, we need to focus a little bit more in those areas.
I thought I was. I've been doing this for 15 years. Right? I thought I was already. But apparently it's not getting out enough, right? Oh, you are one of the leaders and instrumental in the human trafficking front, and I think we have something coming up next month. I'll leave it alone. I think that's with you in Ontario Truck Drive. But tell us what's going on with human trafficking. What's the last development? I think you were moderating a panel and talking about it and awareness, and revealed a trailer. Anything else coming out soon?
There is the Canadian Declaration to End Human Trafficking. My team and we were a part of that in Winnipeg on
I saw you met Mr. Paul Brandt, if I remember the picture.
Yes, we did. It was great to actually meet him and talk to him and about the great work his organization is doing on human trafficking. We have a trailer launch that'll be at the Ontario Truck Driving School May 10th.
To that,
so that's coming up. I am also going to be talking to the Status of Women Standing Committee on human trafficking next week, actually. So looking forward to contributing and, encouraging our government to do as much as possible about this.
So you going out west, does that mean that, because I know there's a number of separate groups that are all trying to do their own thing. Are you guys coming together a little more and trying to work as a whole? Or was that just an informational conference that you went out to?
That was basically an informational conference, but there are some organizations that are working together. I think that the biggest thing is, and it doesn't matter whether it's the human trafficking world or the trucking world or whatever, everybody's working in these silos.
Yes.
And we're reinventing the wheel. We're duplicating each other's work. I mean, for God's sakes, it's about time we knock those damn things down, Bruce.
Start working
because
together.
we can accomplish a lot more when we work together instead of working against each other. I mean, and I think that's where we need to shift the focus more.
Right,
Because everybody has their own unique thing that they're really, really good at. So let's work together. I said to a couple of them at the conference that I was at, what do we need to do? Have the sandbox like back in kindergarten and everybody gets one pail and one shovel and we have to share? I mean, it has to change.
And I've seen, I mean, you're one that was instrumental in leading that I saw up here. We've got some friends down in the States who also have been very, and now I'm starting to see other ones pop up and I'm going, okay, we got to get together. Like, this is an important thing for all of us that we all need to keep working at.
Well, and that's the thing. And the thing is that, TAT is a U.S. organization, so not in my city and all these other ones. They've been up here in Canada long before TAT decided that they were going to serve us up here. And there's difference of opinions, right? So I think, we have to respect those boundaries. We are very much on a victim-centric approach, and we do not believe in victim shaming up here in Canada. So those are really big things. And then the differences between a sex worker and sex trafficking, which is a great debate right now. With various groups in our Canadian government and trying them to do change, and you have to be careful because there has been death threats against people for trying to stick up for the rights of sex workers. So it's a real heated world, and human trafficking is not our sphere. We're about trucking. We're just trying to help with the public awareness piece, promoting the Ontario government.
And I think it's for a lot of us older drivers to do that, because I know I was teaching a class, I had about 15 people in class, and somehow it got on to sex workers with truck stops. And they said, oh, you must have a good story. And all I said was, Canton, Ohio, 1985. And they all went, so they're waiting to hear a story. And then I went into the whole, that's what we used to think. Here's what we found out system, that it's human trafficking. We didn't know. And I didn't say about, I've never dealt in any of that stuff, but I did say it was a pain to get a night's sleep back in Canton, Ohio. That's kind of what I was going at, and they thought it was coming from the other side. But the place quietened down. Once I started explaining what human trafficking is and, the change in our mindset in the industry from having stickers and mud flaps to now an approach of, wow, someone might be in danger, class quieted right down. And I think a lot of us that were in the old school days have to start doing that and saying, wait a minute now. Yes, it was funny back in the day, or we thought it was because we didn't realize what it was. And now we realize the danger. I didn't realize what it was back then.
No, and that's just it. And I think, in Canada itself, we've never seen a lot of those lot lizard mud flaps and those type of things. We usually see a lot more of those down south than we do up here, right? But the thing is, it still doesn't stop them from knocking on your truck. So it's just, it's not a good image for our industry or for a driver to even have those things on their truck. I understand why they do it, but if we get more people involved, learning about what human trafficking it is, taking a course. There's so many free courses.
There's no reason not to know.
There's no reason not to. So anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour of your time is nothing. In fact, some of them are in audio. You can listen to them when you're driving down the road. So it pays to pay attention. And I had one guy say to me, what's the big deal? And my answer answer to that is, do you have a wife? Do you have a mother? Do you have a daughter? Do you have a sister?
Those of us that have daughters and wives.
Right.
And
So, you know, take the course.
Yeah.
It's only a little bit of your time.
Yeah.
Right. You know, if you can sit and watch a hockey game or football or have a couple beers with your buddies, you can take the time to take a course. So,
you'll learn a lot. Okay, real quick, because we got to go to lunch. We haven't eaten yet. Tell us about the Bridging for Barriers coming up 2023. This is your annual conference. You do it every year. Tell us what we can expect this year, or what you're thinking.
Well, Bridging the Barriers will be on September 25th and 26th this year at the Hilton Garden Inn, Toronto Airport West location. We have Dr. Paul Artel as our keynote speaker. We have Rick Geller coming in, and he's going to talk about governance and compliance. We also have Carrie, I'm probably going to mess up her last name, Wierzorowski from CVSA. She is coming in, and we've got some panels we're setting up, and some special surprises again this year. So it's sure to be a great event, and pretty soon we'll be advertising it hot and heavy so people can find out more details and get registered.
And it's not just a women's event. There's lots of men in the audience, lots of men that are contributing, on the panel and stuff, and panels. So
that's just it. And as always, we dedicate so much of our event to human trafficking. Right. So we have Project Recover, Richard Dunwoody coming in. That is really interesting about what that organization does. And we also have White Ribbon coming in talking about male allyship and the importance of male allyship.
It's going to be a great. Where can they find out more? Have you got it on your website yet, or is that where the people should go? Or
pretty soon they'll be able to go onto our website. We're just fine-tuning things, and you know how that goes.
Make sure there's a registration link and all that, because that's where I send everybody all the time.
Yeah, make sure it works. So, and waiting, basically we've been waiting for the hotel link for the hotel as well, so we can get that up there for people so they know how much the rooms are if they choose to spend the night. As always, Bruce is our lovely media personality, and doing our DJing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun night. We're gonna up it from last year.
I can tell you there were so many people that just were in love with last year's networking that I'm sure this year is going to even be better.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, thanks for all you do, Shelley. We love working with you. You and I have known each other for years, and keep up all the good work you're doing.
Thanks, Bruce. You keep doing what you do.
So I'm here with Craig from Australia, and I was really, we could talk all day about Australia, but we're not going to because we're all at the end of a conference. It's been a long day. But I'm interested in your thoughts. You've been in Canada for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2-week trip, and beautiful place. And,
and you've got, what's the training company that you've got? You've got your training company.
With a family-owned business, I run Armstrong Driver Education, so we specialise in the heavy vehicle, or I think that, what do you call we call them heavy vehicles, you call them tractors, don't you?
Yeah, tractor trailers,
that's our speciality.
And you came up to take a look at the entry-level training program and how that might be possibly investigated for Australia, right?
Yeah, well, look, in Australia, we've got some major problems with our training. We're not looking after industry, we're not looking after road safety.
Yeah.
We've got organisations doing truck licensing in 5 hours, just mind-blowing.
That's crazy,
When I looked around the world, and I've been following the MELT system, the Canadian system, and there's really best practice over here, and someone had to come over, and I made that choice, and I want to see your model, which I've seen a lot of it, and very impressed with you going.
And you've been across the country from one side to the other.
Yeah, yes.
I don't know how you did that in 2 weeks. You're going to be sleeping for a month when you go home.
I am very tired, but look, I started off in British Columbia, and had some really good meetings there, and I love the way they've gone for their 140-hour program. I spent significant time in Ontario and looking at the 103-hour program. Spent heaps of time with Kim Richardson, and had a look at an organisation that just leads the way here. And over to Montreal. I'm really fascinated in their 16-week program and that. So I've got to get to Manitoba. I've got to get to Alberta. And I've got to get to Saskatchewan because that Humboldt accent was that had a lot of impact overseas on us as well.
And as you heard today, the East Coast, where they were talking about in the last panel, they don't have as many programs as rates. So what do you think of today? You're at a recruiting event. Like, is industry in Australia the same as what we've got here? We have a lot of camaraderie. We are all competitors for the most part in this room, and we all are friends too.
Well, look, I think this event, this was a quality event, and I love the parallels of what we've got, and that is that we have a massive shortage of drivers, but not just drivers, quality drivers. You've got a massive shortage of drivers, quality drivers.
But the industry's so much fun. I don't know why we don't have anybody coming into it.
Look, I think that's the challenge of leaders. We've got to market the industry because, look, we've been in it, we've experienced it. Unless we communicate that in a way that people understand, and we just have to get out there and we have to show and get people, they have to get a feel. If they get a feel of the industry, you fall in love with it.
As what we say up here is once you get in, you can't get out.
Absolutely.
And I've tried a number of times. I'm still here. I can't whether you're driving or not, you still can't.
I'm 40 years in it. I started off as a driver and driver trainers, and I've been running an organisation for a lot of years now. Love it.
So you think you have enough data to take back enough? Is there going to be big discussions in Australia now about what Canadians do?
Well, look, I think I've got a starting point. I've got some good data, and look, the government know I'm coming across, my state government. I'll share that with them. I'll share it with our industry. We've got very close relationships with the VTA, which is the Victorian Transport Association. They do a wonderful job. They're trying to fight the fight.
Right.
209, trying to make a difference, and I think we're getting closer.
Yeah, well, we all try to make a difference here. The best of the best are in this room today, I can tell you that. I've dealt with them for years, decades now, it seems like.
Well, I tell you what, I've never met such a nice bunch of people, but people you can actually just approach and start talking. It's quality conversation. Loved it.
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I know you've got a long trip ahead of you, but safe travels, and feel free to come back up sometime. I want to make it to Australia. If you talk to most people, it's probably on most people in this room their bucket list to go once at least.
Well, one thing about a bucket list, you got to make it happen.
I'm busy on all the other things on my list. That's a little further down, but I need to move it up, and I certainly will come and say hello.
We'll look after you.
Great. Thank you very much. That's
thank
awesome.
you. Hey, folks. If you are a private motor truck council carrier, then you need to be at the PMTC conference. And even if you're not, you should be at the PMTC conference. That's right. So what's the PMTC, Private Motor Truck Council of Canada? They have their annual conference June 21st to 22nd to 23rd, 2023. It's in Hamilton, Ontario this year at the Hamilton Convention Center, and that's by Carmen's. You can learn all about it at pmtc.ca. Right now, they've got member pricing and non-member pricing, and I got to tell you, this year that you can stay at the Sheraton Hamilton Hotel. They've got lots of stuff coming up. We are looking forward to. We've been part of this conference for the last few years, and I got to say, it is one of the best conferences going on in our industry. So where do you learn more? At pmtc.ca. Check it out. Private Motor Truck Council of Canada. If you are a private carrier or somebody who wants to work with private carriers, you want to be in this room. They've got awards. They've got seminars, they've got a trade show, and they've got all kinds of stuff for you. So we'll see you there. We're going to be in Hamilton, and you're going to be there too, hopefully. June 21st to 23rd, 2023. Go to pmtc.ca. See you later. All right, so there you go. We had a great time. Big thank you to Transrep again for having us out. Congratulations to all the award winners, Jessica Matta and Jeff Topping of Challenger. And well done to the whole team at Transrep for doing what you did. You did a great job there, and it was certainly fun to be part of that. Keep an eye out because they go across the country. I know last year they were on the East Coast. Not sure if they're going to the West Coast, but they're moving that around. So keep an eye on that, and we look forward to being part of future events. Hey, you know what? Follow us, because you know what? The best way to follow us and keep up to date with all of this stuff is to go follow us on Instagram. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and you can find me on LinkedIn. And you can always subscribe to our show and also get our Lead Pedal Media app. And don't forget, Lead Pedal Radio changed platform, so we are now over on Mixcloud at mixcloud.com. Just search for Lead Pedal Radio. All right, my friends, talk to you later. Be good out there. Bye for now.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.